Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown, the unofficial sumo podcast for official sumo fans. This is Mac.
This is Jake.
This is Ryan.
And this is Fleric.
And this is the Natsu 2026 preview edition. We are recording this on the morning of Sunday, May 3rd, 7 days prior to the Basho. So there's still a lot of news to come out, but I think the biggest news that will happen has happened, and that is the YDC Soken training, and we'll go in depth on all the news coming out of that. But before we get there and talking about what we expect to happen in the upcoming May Basho, we want to let everybody know about our Patreon. Everything that is pledged to us will go into podcast quality and giving back to the fans, like the free t-shirt that we give out every Basho and the trading cards that we send out. There should be a new set of trading cards coming out very soon here, so we'll have another box opening, probably 2 box opening.
More signatures.
Gotta hope so. I mean, it hasn't done well for the 2 Ozeki over my shoulder here in Kotozakura and Aonishiki. Things have gone poorly for both of them since I got their autograph, so hopefully things go better for the next autograph I get. Yeah. We have 3 different tiers in the Patreon that you can sign up for. The $1 friend of the show gets you a compliment upon sign up, but most importantly, gets you invited to the GSB Discord server. There's the $2 card collector level, which gets you everything in the $1 level, and it gets you the ability to receive one of those trading cards whenever we do a box opening. And then the $3 BFF of the show, you get everything in the first 2 tiers, plus you also gave us an extra $1 because you're just a swell person overall. So any and all
great
levels,
salesmanship.
Yes. Any and the best people give us $3. No, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
If Ryan's sales pitch it works on you, that means that you really are dedicated to the show. So appreciate it.
And we appreciate you.
Any and all levels are highly appreciated, and we're very thankful for everyone's support, whether you're able to join the Patreon or not. But that being said, we do have 3 new people that have signed up for the Patreon since we last recorded a recap episode. So, Jake, why don't you kick us off with our first compliment?
Sounds good. First, we'd like to welcome Dad Lover 420. Hey, how's it going? You have good taste. I don't know what the 420 means. It must mean something. Maybe it's the year they were born or something like that.
Could be. Well, me personally, I am so happy to have Dave with us, and I'm really hoping they share their famous barbecue recipes with us. Please, I love barbecue.
Famous Dave?
Hit us up in the Discord with that barbecue recipe.
And to Renee, Chairman Hikaku would actually have nice things to say about you.
Very rare and fleeting in this world.
As we are about to discuss.
Yes. We also want to thank Cheeky Sumo for going in collaboration with us. You can see showing Mac, but they are now carrying the Grand Sumo Breakdown t-shirts on Cheeky Sumo. They are a great brand. We've all got some Cheeky Sumo shirts. They are just a couple of people putting together. Jake's better at this. I don't know why I tried to do it. Jake has all the information. I apologize to Cheeky Sumo.
The salesmanship and the showmanship, it just went out the window after the patrons.
Ryan has some sort of Ron Burgundy situation where if you add stuff to the outline after he has reviewed it, it just blows him up. Yeah, exactly. No, Cheeky Sumo, they're a pair of sumo fans. They are sumo fans first, and everything on their site is made with love, and they have some cool designs that are like Max got one that is just a cool sumo design.
Absolutely.
There are specific
I'll show it again.
clubs.
I love it.
Yep, there you go. Oshidashi.
Looking good, Mac.
Thank you.
And Ryan's starting this bit where now that he knows where everybody is on my screen, he's trying to look in their direction when they're talking.
That's right.
You got it, buddy. No, but cheekysumo.com. Go there. That is the official source for GSB shirts, in addition to all the other cool stuff on there. So go check it out. And also Amateur Sumo. This is
Mr. President, give us the Amateur Sumo update.
Our first non-Bansuke episode since Nationals happened, where I was elected the president of the U.S. Sumo Federation. Thank you. Sorry, I just ruined the bit of I should have gone. Thank you, Mac. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Flair.
Clearly, still a new president, still figuring it out. It's okay.
Not much is going to change as far as this podcast goes. By all means, please still go to ussumo.org to check out upcoming events, get registered, find a club near you. Please donate to the USSF. Now that I'm in, I realize, oh man, we need to figure out how to get some more money here. Any money that comes into the USSF supports running nationals and supports sending our athletes to worlds. So there will be more announcements on that. Go subscribe to the US Sumo Federation YouTube channel. There will be stuff coming up on there eventually. Haven't gotten there yet. It's only been about a month since I have been in this role. But as the formally recognized king of sumo in America, I am on it. So don't worry, more stuff is coming.
And to crown you with that, you also need to have a beverage to go with your kingship. And highly recommend going out and getting some awesome Ozeki Crowlers. It's just delicious. That rice lager out there at Flix Brewhouse in Round Rock and in Des Moines, go get it. There is still some available. When I went and got 4 for this past weekend, they said, oh, this is so good. It is going fast. Go get it while supplies last.
Were you taking notes on that one, Ryan?
No.
That was all improv. That wasn't even on. That wasn't even on the list.
Don't know how you do it.
It's a mystery. We'll never learn. Anyways, next up. Sorry, go ahead.
Jake, you guys got Discord server too, don't you? For the USSF.
We do. We are working on spreading the word about that. We're going to be starting to include the invite to that USSF Discord. That'll be going around. And if you aren't a member of the USSF or haven't been in the past, we are also sending out monthly emails that say the gist of what's going on in the USSF. That's a new thing that is hopefully going to be very helpful for people who want to be more involved and for people who want to know more of what's going on. That's just been historically an issue in the past of we just don't know what the USSF is doing. Like, how are we progressing things, and sending out at minimum monthly. We'll be sending out updates on what's going on. So go get your memberships. Make sure you get a membership if you intend to compete. But other than that, Mac, do you want to transition my plug into more beer stuff, or are we good to move on?
No, I think we're good. We covered that before. Ryan, do you have anything to add?
Cool.
Let's figure out what B has to say about the previous Basho before we dive deep into what we think will happen in the next Basho.
All right, we're back on the rails for Ryan.
Yep.
Here we go.
Hey guys, B here with your 2026 Haru review. And what a Haru it was! Just like Sheamus winning King of the Ring, Alberto Del Rio winning the Royal Rumble, or Roman Reigns defeating Triple H at WrestleMania 32, Kirishima's historic re-promotion to Ozeki was definitely a thing that happened. With all the pomp and circumstance of a pre-recorded holiday SmackDown taping, Kirishima triumphantly won the Haru Yusho by clinching on a loss before the tournament even got to day 15. Nothing says confidence and long-term booking like having a guy sort of stumble into a Yusho when everyone else was paying attention to a different storyline at the start and then got so bored it became the thing they had to talk about because it occurred. This Basho had all those tried and true storyline highlights. Takayasu just losing 7 matches in a row, Ura losing matches while laughing about it because who cares, lol? Hoshoryu being booked to not be perfect and then getting reprimanded by the same old men that booked him not to be perfect, a ref bump for no reason, Hakanofuji just running out of the ring because he's working hurt, and more. And of course, them pushing a guy to the moon as an unstoppable killer and then rug pulling him because they decided they wanted to do something else. Sorry, Aonishiki, it was fun while it lasted. And I'd been dancing around this for months, but now I'm just going to say it. There is very clearly some Onosato Hulk Hogan, that's not going to work for me, brother, crap going on with his booking. It sounds like somebody made it clear that he is either winning the tournament or pulling out of it, and that the other Yokozuna can be the one that gets beat. Take a look at it. He only let them book him 10-5 in January when Hoshoryu went 10-5 too. Would love to see what the creative control clause in his contract says. Gotta protect merch sales for all those little Onosato maniacs, brother. See you for Natsu.
I'm waiting for that. He's hulking up. He's hulking up. Like, I don't think that's going to take too long. It can't take too long. He'll lose the match.
I don't think B really enjoyed that Basho.
I don't think so either. Isn't that where we ended up too? I mean, pretty depressed on the recap, I think.
I'll admit the last month has been a little bit volatile for me sumo wise, so I kind of forgot that like everything except the Basho was very exciting. So the Basho, it happened.
So let's move on to the May Basho. Let's move on to some new beginnings. We'll leave the Haru Basho behind us. If you were one to not particularly enjoy all the storylines that played out throughout that Basho, hey, I'm still happy we got Ozeki Kirishima back. I'm not upset about that in the slightest. But first, let's talk about the big training event where a lot of news came out, gave us an idea of where a lot of our top guys currently stand. The YDC always has a training session prior to the Natsu Basho, and it's the one time a year that they train in front of the YDC. Everybody in basically not all of sumo, but definitely all the Makuuchi Rikishi are there for the most part. So we've got some results from our Yokozuna and Ozeki and how they did. Hoshoryu fought 17 bouts, going 9-8 in those bouts against his fellow Yokozuna and Ozeki. Kotozakura went 3-7 in his 10 bouts. Aonishiki went 3-6 in his 9 bouts, and Kirishima went 10-4 in his 14 bouts. That leaves Onosato off the list as he left the venue prior to the Yokozuna and Ozeki training matches starting. He only took part in a little bit of warm-up exercises, and then he bounced after that. So after the training session, Chairman Hikaku did not have the greatest impression of all of his top division Rikishi. He is quoted as saying, there is a lack of intensity. I suppose it can't be helped for the Makuuchi Rikishi, but it was evident that they were not giving it their all. They did well in Butsugari, but it's no good if they don't have the desire to go for it themselves. They're just being forced to do it. I'm starting to get worried. Is this what top division training is like? There is no intensity.
Wow.
So it feels like Chairman Hikaku was watching training and he just saw a bunch of guys going through the motions, according to Chairman Hikaku. Rikishi not really going all out and just getting out there because you kind of got to do it. So Chairman Hikaku not feeling too great. And it wasn't just the Yokozuna and Ozeki. He's saying the whole top division. So Chairman Hikaku's not very happy about the current state of things in the top division. I wasn't there. Can't say that I can agree or disagree with him, but those are his thoughts. So we talked about the 5 records of our Yokozuna and Ozeki, and we're gonna talk about all 5 of them, but I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. Where do you want to start? Who do you want to start talking about?
Should we maybe do Onosato, because that's probably going to be brief?
That's the way I was thinking. Like, all right, let's get the injured one out of the way.
I'm really curious. You said he just kind of left?
Yeah.
That feels like I'm very curious what the etiquette there is. Because like if I was like to show up for a work performance and just kind of leave before doing it, like good. Is that a thing that like they can do? Did he like notify? I don't know. It's just fascinating to me that
Well, it's interesting you ask, and let's get Chairman Hikaku's thoughts on that.
Oh, good.
Lovely.
About Onosato, who, like I said, did not participate in any on-doyo activities, just did the basics, and then he left prior to the Yokozuna Ozeki matches. Chairman Hikaku said, "There's nothing to say about him, not even an impression. He just disappeared at the end. Maybe he had something to do. I thought he would offer his chest. This is something he must be aware of. It's a learning experience."
Oh. Yeah, that makes it seem like it wasn't
it wasn't an excused absence.
No.
Yeah, because like on one side it could be like, hey, I'm here today. I just want to like, pay my respects and whatnot, but I'm still injured. I'm not going to compete. I feel like that's what they would have said if that's what the impression he gave.
Exactly.
Maybe he had something to do.
Yeah. And Chairman Hikaku mentioned, he said it's a learning experience. Like he further context is like he's a Yokozuna. He has to be aware of like his presence and his actions, and just kind of leaving before this. You were saying, Jake, it just kind of doesn't give a great impression of just kind of shuffling off and leaving before the training bouts even go down. So Onosato not necessarily leaving the greatest impression after the YDC Soken. The YDC chairman, Tadamori Oshima, he had some comments about Onosato as well. He said he showed his face but did not step onto the sumo ring. It is regrettable. And then he would go on talking about Onosato and his condition. Obviously, he pulled out of the last tournament with the left shoulder injury, and he pulled out of the Jungyo Tour halfway through because of that left shoulder injury. The YDC chairman said, I believe that the most important thing he should do is get himself in perfect physical condition. I hope he will make every effort to get himself in perfect physical condition and to be able to properly fulfill his responsibilities as a Yokozuna. So it sounds like if Onosato were to take the path of taking a Basho off, would not have a whole lot of issue from the YDC giving him flack. They want him to become fully healthy. Prior to the YDC Soken, Onosato, like I mentioned, had pulled out of the Jungyo Tour halfway through. He had said at some point, I think it was after he pulled out, that he thought it would just kind of go away. Like he could just kind of sleep and rest and it would go away, and that has clearly not been the case. So he has to do some workouts to strengthen the area, and we're kind of seeing if that is paying off for him right now. A couple of days prior to the YDC Soken, Onosato trained 15 consecutive bouts against, it was either a third or fourth division stablemate. Translations weren't 100% clear, but somebody in Makushita or Sandanme. He went 11-4 in those bouts against a third or fourth tier competitor.
Yeesh.
Afterwards, he said, I think I still have a long way to go, so I will prepare thoroughly and keep practicing. I think I will not be ready unless I increase the number of bouts and improve my precision. I will continue to prepare and train while receiving treatment for my body. And so I think it's very indicative of where he might be standing, where he said a couple days prior to the Soken, I need to increase the number of bouts. The day of the Soken, 0 bouts. So Jake, with all of that information, 1, will Onosato start the May Basho? 2, if he does, will he finish it?
I feel like it would almost be insulting if he did start it. You know, like if he
really
sat out these other things and kind of just ghosted the YDC. I feel like it would almost be rude to wrestle now. But I don't know. I have very low hopes. I think that my preference would be, if the injury is as bad as it sounds based on him pulling out of other stuff, I would prefer he takes some time to rest. But if he does, I think it's also just as likely that he will enter it, be obviously injured, lose a bunch of matches, and then pull out. And that I would much rather him stay completely out, but I think that there's a decent chance he would do that anyways. So I don't know. It's frustrating. I kind of hope not to see him.
Do you think Hikaku would be insulted if he enters?
I don't know if it's possible to not insult Hikaku. I mean, we're gonna get there. Like he doesn't hate everybody right now, but it's close.
Who does he actually like at this point?
Well, I mean, we'll get there, but like the guys that we talked about,
we've got 4 other guys in the Yokozuna Ozeki rank. Surely he has something nice to say about one of them.
Yeah, Ryan tossed it out to us to say to ask who we should discuss first. So I figured we'd start at the bottom and work our way up. Maybe
fair.
Yeah, and Flerick.
Yeah, I was gonna. So you did mention something where I guess previously he was trying to actually just sleep it off, but now he's working on strengthening the muscles around the area. So it sounds like he's actually doing some like PT exercises and trying to address it.
Yeah,
like, it won't just kind of fix itself.
4 months after the injury occurred. Like,
yeah,
I don't know about bodies, but that could be too late. I assume you want to get going on that like as soon as possible, not just kind of let it sit and linger and be hurt and then 4 months later.
I think ideally to recover the fastest, yeah. But As long as he's like actually working on it, I think it's promising.
We ain't no body scientists here.
But yeah,
so no, I'm positive about that. He's trying something different. It just takes a long time, especially shoulder injuries. They're notorious. And to Hakaku, who said, "Why didn't he lend his chest?" Like, I feel like sometimes you accidentally push the shoulder if you do Butsukari. So
yeah, I feel like that one's pretty cut and dry as to why he didn't lend his chest if his shoulder is hurting. Like, you don't want people charging and pushing into your shoulder.
Now, I ain't no body scientist, but I think the shoulder bone's connected to the chest bone. So maybe that wouldn't be the best idea if your shoulder's hurting.
But also, if you're unable to lend your chest a week out before the Basho, if you're sitting out of the YD Soken, if the YDC is preemptively saying, get your body in the best physical shape, I feel like he is physically showing he's not ready, and he is being given the out by the YDC to sit this one out. And I think for me, I would be surprised if he entered the Basho. It just really feels like Onosato has to sit this one out. Otherwise, it's going to look like he did back in January when he fought just 2 months after the injury occurred, and he got a 10-5 record, but that was not the Onosato that we know. And then obviously he entered March again, started 0-3 and had to pull out. This is clearly something that needs more attention. Possibly surgery would have been needed after it occurred. I don't know for sure if that's the case, but with it lingering this long, you would think maybe surgical repair might be necessary at this point. I don't know bodies. I don't know if that's for sure. That's just how it feels to me.
So isn't surgery kind of just like making a wound that's easier to heal than the wound you already have?
I don't know bodies. I don't know.
The technical definition, I don't know.
No, I guess my last thought on it was I feel like it's worth bringing up every time, at least in passing, but like his coach did this almost identical thing, shoulder injury that he didn't properly protect, and it led to the end of his career right when it was starting to peak. And becoming a Yokozuna under Kisa Onosato and injuring your shoulder and not taking care of it is infuriating. So I really hope that they are doing the right thing and not just sumo brute force ignoring the injury situation like happens way too often.
Any other thoughts on Onosato, or do you guys want to move on to one of our other four, Yokozuna and Ozeki?
Good. Heal up.
All right. Who do we want to talk about next?
Let's go with the big disappointment. Let's go Hoshoryu. I say big disappointment. The one that Chairman Hakaku was actually disappointed in.
We'll get to that. So Hoshoryu, his big storyline continues. He fought the most matches in the YDC Soken. 9-8, not the best results he was probably hoping for, but he was there. He fought the most matches. He was at the entire Jungyo tour. All comments that he's made sound like he is feeling good. He is feeling ready to go. The big story for Hoshoryu has been, since he's been promoted, when is he going to win his first Yusho as a Yokozuna? I haven't had the chance to look up what the longest gap between promotion to Yokozuna and winning your first Yusho as a Yokozuna is. So I don't know where he is on that scale of things, but it's something that's been asked, like starting his third Basho as Yokozuna. So it's something that weighs heavy on him. He did have some comments after the YDC training, expressing some frustration at the training. He said, I thought I had done 20 bouts. I lost quite a few. My condition isn't bad, and I'm having good Keiko sessions. I want to prepare by checking my physical condition and going for Daigeko. And then when asked about winning his first Yusho as a Yokozuna, he said, I shouldn't think about it too much. I want to face each bout seriously and make it a good May tournament. So now we're going to get to Chairman Hakaku's thoughts on
No, this
Hoshoryu.
one's gonna hurt.
And I want to flash back to some of Chairman Hakaku's thoughts on Hoshoryu towards the end of the Haru Basho. So this was a comment from Chairman Hakaku after day like 13 or 14. He said, Hoshoryu was no good. Yesterday, Sumo was his worst. A Yokozuna who allows a 12-in Yusho is no good. He needs to reconsider his tenacity. He needs to rethink his mental game. So that's Chairman Hakaku's last thoughts that we have on Hoshoryu.
And now he's totally turned around.
I'm thinking second verse, same as the first.
Here we go after the YDC Soken, where Hoshoryu did compete in the most matches. He said, he takes too many breaks. He wins and loses and then takes breaks. Once a Yokozuna steps onto the doyo, he can't step back. He needs to be more self-aware. And then he would follow it up saying, of course, Hoshoryu is the favorite to win, but I want him to stop trying to win by throwing and learn to win by forcing his opponent out, even if it's not flashy. He lacks the power to move forward. He tries to throw his opponent because he can't move forward. Even Chiyo no Fuji often won by forcing his opponent out. In Hoshoryu's case, he needs to be able to pull his opponent in and win steadily. So
That is... Do you think he's just like an Oshi, like purist, where you should only be pushing forward?
I
Stop
don't
with
think
this
so.
belt stuff.
I honestly believe it is fair and honest criticism of Hoshoryu. He may be a grumpy and gruff old man, but
He's
don't
not
think
wrong in
he's
that
wrong.
case.
Yeah, I think he's saying like it's okay. It's probably even great to be able to throw your opponents and be able to pull those moves out and have all these impressive throws in that. But that can't be plan A. You need to be able to have the power to move forward and force your opponent out. Otherwise, you're always going to be put in some sort of disadvantage in the match if you're being overpowered. And I think that plays out in a lot of Hoshoryu Sumo. He finished 11-4 last Basho, so he picked up 4 losses. And we saw plenty of other matches, especially in the first week, where he just looked lucky to have pulled off the win. He was able to slap down his opponent or pull off a last-second throw. There was even a couple matches where after the match, he looked like he was surprised that he was able to pull it out. So it's not a sustainable way to always be in contention for winning. Now, despite that fact, Hoshoryu has gotten either a Yusho or a Jun Yusho in 6 of the past 7 tournaments that he has competed in. Only one of those being a Yusho, however. But I do think it's fair criticism of Chairman Hakaku. He's a dick, but I think it's fair.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess like it could be also want to just get a hold of the belt and like force him out that way by just being stronger.
Yeah,
It's just surely Hikaku knows that he's tried that, right?
Repeatedly.
Can I give you a couple numbers that might illustrate this a little bit? Like to what level we're considering him too focused on throws?
no, thank you.
All right, never mind.
Yeah,
But do it anyway.
we're good.
He throws, just based on a couple of the more common throwing techniques, I looked it up. He throws about twice as often as everyone else does, as an average wrestler would. And he uses push-out techniques about half as often as the norm. However, Yorikiri, he uses it 21% of the time compared to an average 24%. It's not necessarily a shortage of Yorikiris that's the issue. I think it's the throws are taking over the space that a normal wrestler might use pushing. So I don't know. I think that's really nitpicky against Hikaku there, but I do think it's worth pointing out.
And I think when you're at the Yokozuna level, you kind of got to get nitpicky if you're going to be
Yeah.
offering criticisms, because he did start that off by saying Hoshoryu is the favorite to win. Now, I don't know if that's just because Hoshoryu is the highest ranked guy and the only one that's clearly healthy.
Yeah, I was about to say the healthiest Yokozuna right now.
And so maybe it's a very soft, he's the favorite because he's the highest ranked, but
That's all Hikaku knows how to do. He looks at the top to Bansuke. That's the favorite.
that's the favorite.
That's
that
the
one right
favorite.
there.
That guy right there.
Trade
Yeah.
secrets.
I'll be kind of curious, Jake, of how Hoshoryu compares to other Yokozuna, and at least the throwing wise. But the more you talk about Ryan, I kind of agree. Maybe like throwing just gets more volatile, of where you can win in these positions that he gets into, but he can also not win a lot more often, like just half as often. So maybe try to get into different scenarios where you're just not ending up being a throw.
Yeah. And I think being a throw first guy is fine. Having that volatile style is fine until you're at the rank of Yokozuna, because a Yokozuna has to win. And so if you're fighting with a volatile style where you are able to get easily overpowered, you're not winning as much as the JSA would want you to. They want to have a shining beacon of a Rikishi that they can point to and be, this is the guy, this is our unbeatable champion. And since Hoshoryu has been promoted, he hasn't been a champion. And so he wants him to find a more consistently proven style of having the power and strength to just get chest to chest with your opponent, push them back. If you're able to overpower your opponent and do that, it's a more consistent style than trying to find the right leverage or whatever you need to throw your opponent. So I think now that he's Yokozuna, he needs to win, and Chairman Akaku's trying to tell him, find a more consistent way to win. You're getting double digits. You're getting Jun shows, but those need to turn into, those 11s and 12s need to turn into 13s and 14s, and those Jun shows need to be U shows. If you're at a Yokozuna, it's just a whole new level of pressure that I think we're kind of being exposed to for the first time as fans, seeing Rikishi promoted to Yokozuna and not necessarily having the most success in the world. Like we've seen Yokozuna promote, like the one that we really saw most organically was Teruto no Fuji, and he came in, he just bulldozed everybody. He was the shining beacon until the injuries came out.
Yeah, real quick, he was way heavy on Yorikiri, but also way above average on throws.
And way above average on height and size.
Yeah. But it looks like I've gone through Teruto no Fuji and Hakuho, and both of those guys had a lot of Yorikiri and a lot of throws. But both of them had well under average pushing technique usage. So yeah, it seems like
Belt's game OP.
Right. But it seems kind of silly when Hoshoryu has a very similar profile to those guys. He has fewer Yorikiri proportionally than either of them, but not by a ton. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I don't think, just based on those numbers, if you are comparing him to the last two Dai Yokozuna, kind of has a pretty similar profile for how he wins matches. Maybe it's not what they want to see, but
he's not winning as many matches.
Not winning.
Yeah.
Just the 1 and 2 extra losses per Basho are really eating at Hakaku.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's completely fair. I just think that it's kind of silly. Like that stuck out to me. Like, wait a second, that's kind of normal though. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of nitpicky on why that. I don't think that's. I don't necessarily agree with that style of criticism, but I agree that criticism should be there.
Yeah. And I will say that looking at the numbers, like, yeah, just looking at the stat page and stuff, it's like, it's not too much lower. But I think looking at the matches and the actual sumo matches on the dojo, you could see what Hakaku's saying, playing out, getting overpowered and having to rely on the throws. So,
yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe he just needs to get better on the throws. Because like whenever he tries it, he's not winning as often. But it sounds like he's trying it semi as often as other Yokozuna.
Well, that's the one thing that the numbers don't show is those extra losses that he has, because his winning percentage itself is much lower than either of those other two guys. But what the numbers don't show is how many of his extra losses are because he was trying a throw, and that led to him getting Yorikiri'd or something like that. That's a more qualitative piece of information that might lead to this thought. Even if his winning technique profile fits what a Yokozuna has done in the the 21st century here, it could be the case that he's also just seeing Hoshoryu lose by trying to get fancy rather than doing more winning of straightforward stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like he's winning as often with throws, but what we don't 100% know is like he might be losing attempting those throws, just like you said.
And which is absolutely true. I mean, I can't like draw a match out of my head off, like right off the cuff here, but that absolutely happens. Just like when a lot of people that are good at pulling techniques also probably lost a lot of matches by Oshidashi when they attempted a pulling technique. So there's a lot of stuff the numbers can't show. I don't want to pretend that I know better than him just because I looked at Sumo DB for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Is Chairman Hikaku right? Is the old man right?
I'm
Should
never
Hoshoru?
ever going to admit that.
Yes.
Of course not. That's absolutely not. Don't put words in my mouth, Flerick. But
Okay.
He might be a little less wrong this time, though.
maybe less than usual.
Yeah.
Are we gonna rivalry John Gunning style into a personal relationship with Chairman Hikaku here?
Oh,
God, I hope so.
Let's make sure to get this even more personal as we go.
It would be the end of us. I have no doubt.
yeah.
So, with all that being said about Hoshoryu and maybe some things that he needs to clean up in his game, like I said, he is coming in feeling healthy. He is doing the most training bouts at the session. He is the guy who 6 out of his last 7 tournaments that he has finished, Yusho or Jun Yusho, so he's always in contention towards the end of the Basho. With Onosato out and the uncertain status of Aonishiki, who has also picked up 2 Yusho recently, Flerick, do you agree with Chairman Hikaku? Is Hoshoryu the favorite to win this Yusho? Might be a bit more wide open field, but of all the Rikshi that we are expecting, would he be the favorite?
Who else would it be?
It's a good question.
Yeah. I'm looking at this Banzuke, and he's all the way at the top. And even if I tried to pretend that the best person is not at the top, I'm looking at the people around him. It's like, well, nope, that guy is hurt. Nope, that guy's Kotozakura. So,
Shots fired.
yeah. Argument can be made towards Shin Ozeki Kirishima, but I think they are very, very close, at least in skill. And also, if you thought the first party to get him promoted to Ozeki was wild, the second party, I bet
That's where
he's
you
just-
learn, I should have had this at the party. We should have had that at the party. You've had one to practice the Ozeki promotion party. The second one's really where you nail it down and get it perfect. You're up all night and probably up till about 11, 12 the next day, just still going.
Yeah.
You
I
know
wonder
that's
if
got to
it's
carry over into the next month.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I wonder if it's
extra-
a similar vibe to like a second wedding for somebody that got divorced. Like everybody still comes, but it's not the first one was clearly when everybody went all out, right?
Yeah.
But no, long story short, I think I've always looked at Hoshoryu and his least consistency to be healthy. And even then, just always be in the Jun Yusho race. It's just the luck has not gone his way. And to win the Yusho, you need to be skilled. You have to have the body type, the heart. You have to have the technique, but you also need a little bit of luck to get that win. And that just has not been going his way. But maybe this time, I believe. But yeah, definitely a favorite.
All right. So we've talked about our 2 Yokozuna. Which of our 3 Ozeki do we want to talk about? Do we want to talk about Kotozakura, who finally got double digits again last time? Do we want to talk about Kirishima, who is back to the rank of Ozeki? Or do we want to talk about Aonishiki, who is Kadoban coming into this, and his rank is on the line?
I already picked the first time.
I chose the second one.
Let's talk about sad times in Aonishiki.
All right, let's talk about
Kadoban.
Aonishiki.
Sad.
All right, roll
And looking at his results at the Silken, maybe even demoted Aonishiki.
We will
Don't
see.
say that.
So Kadoban Ozeki Aonishiki began his training on April 30th, notably starting his training earlier than he has for previous Bashos, maybe trying to fight off the perception raised by Hoshoryu and the prior to the previous Basho.
This guy doesn't train.
What has he been doing for the last 5 or 6 weeks then?
Recovering from a broken toe.
Well, but that's earlier than he normally starts training. Is that what you said?
Yeah, just a couple days earlier than he usually starts, because really it seems like these guys don't start training for the Basho until the Bansuke comes out.
Yeah,
you might be you're doing the workouts and stuff, but you're not really going on Daigeko and training with the other Rikshi and stuff like that. So he's just starting that a few days earlier than I guess he previously had in prior Bashos. He fought against Kirishima and Oho. This is the day before the YDC Soken, for a total of 7 matches, going 3-4 overall. It was noted that he attacked from a low stance, but there were times when his upper body was raised and he was overpowered. Aonishiki said about that training, the content wasn't good, but it was good that I was able to wrestle. I think that if I fight strong opponents right away, I can get my feel back quickly. Regarding his broken toe, that clearly hampered him in March and kept him out of the entirety of the Jungyo tour. He said, it still hurts a little, but I have no choice but to do my best, which doesn't inspire a lot of confidence in me, if I'm going to be honest. When you say it hurts, but I just kind of gotta, doesn't make me think we're going to be seeing peak Aonishiki, unfortunately.
Well,
but then the next,
what do we know about his personality? I just can't remember off the top of my head.
It seems like he's usually pretty, he's a good interview, and he's pretty honest. He doesn't use as much of the sumo talk and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I guess in that he context,
seems pretty forthright.
This is a worrying statement.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Then
I think we should be worried. I think we should be worried.
Yeah. Good,
yeah,
I am.
definitely.
The next day at the YDC Soken, where he went 3-6, he showed no signs of favoring the injured foot, but was still getting overpowered and pushed out. He said, I couldn't move as well as I thought I could. Worrying, but getting a little better. Little glimmer of hope. I'm not completely recovered yet. Worrying, but I do want to do my best in my own way with the goal of participating, not bringing a lot of hope once again.
Roller coastering.
Yeah.
Not liking this.
And then, of course, we got to hear from Chairman Hikaku what he thinks about Aonishiki. He's not personally attacking Aonishiki, at least, but he says he's lost the momentum he had when he first rose to Ozeki. It's up to him to regain it. He's hit a wall right now, and I think he's learning from it. So that's Chairman Hikaku's thoughts. So, Mac, with all that being said, with the losing records in training, with the toe maybe not visibly affecting him on the dohyo like it was in the March Basho, but still he's admitting it's causing him pain. Will Aonishiki get a winning record this Basho and keep his rank of Ozeki?
I'm going to go with no, unfortunately.
Why?
And my reasoning behind that is he's getting stood up. So, and I know he says he's feeling better, and that's great. But again, he's roller coastering up and down. But his opponents are going to key in on that. It's like, if you can stand him up, everybody knows his toe was broke. It's weak. You can focus on that, which means he can't use all the tricks in his bag that he would normally do if he were healthy. If he would take his time and heal, maybe. But the problem is right now, he's Kadoban. So he doesn't have a choice. His opponents have to know that. So I think, unfortunately, he's got a big bullseye on his back right now. So it's going to be a tough tournament. And I fully believe he will bounce back if he unfortunately loses his rank this time around. But I think this is going to be a really tough road to hoe for him.
I would disagree, because if this guy doesn't train, I'm not really going to take training results from his first ever training into, I'm not going to put too much weight on him.
The Frieza effect.
No, I think him getting stood up is obviously something that I'd be worried about if it was happening in the Basho. Aonishiki, I don't know. To me, I'm not ready to get off the train. And I think that stumbling once is far from the end of the world. If he's ready, if he's willing to get in there and compete, I don't think he's a guy that is going to be kept down. I think that he is. I might expect a little bit of Takakeisho style gamesmanship out of him. Like, maybe if he gets 8 wins, he might kind of take it easy for the last few days if he needs to. But I don't know. It's also possible that he was just kind of easing into training. Like the first training after coming back from an injury, maybe he's not trying as hard. Maybe he's just making sure that his body works the way that he wants it to. On the other hand, I'm not saying it's impossible that, this has broken his spirit of being invincible for the entirety of his career so far. But I think it's far more likely that he is going to I think it's far more likely that he is recovered enough that he is going to be back in the game. And if he enters it, I expect him to do absolutely everything that he has to do to get at least 8.
I do think it's positive that they said he didn't seem to be favoring his foot with a broken toe. So it could just be ring rust, kind of like what you talked about. So
yeah,
it's true. Could be.
My thought on Aonishiki is I'm expecting like 8 to 10 wins out of Aonishiki. I think he's had about a month and a half since the toe was broken, and he fought with the broken toe and came 1 win short of a winning record. So I would have to hope that with a month and a half of recovery, that he's going to be feeling good enough to be able to get that at least 1 extra win. I'm not expecting him to be Yusho contention. Unfortunately, I think this probably still going to be enough ring rust and just the injury affecting him to the point where he might not be able to be in Yusho contention. But I do have faith that it might just be, God, I really don't want him demoted immediately. I do have faith.
He'll bounce back. He's fine.
Would you be surprised if he was in
wins.
Yusho contention?
I think I'd be more surprised with him in Yusho contention than I would be if he did get a losing record.
Okay.
Because I'm just looking at like who he would be fighting, and it's a lot of the same people that beat him last time, which, I mean, they can go either way. It's not just because you beat him last time, you're going to beat him next time, but they're the kind of people that give him the issues, like the big bodies, like the big pusher thrusters that can keep Aonishiki away from their belt. And we even saw last Basho, even if Aonishiki got your belt, that wasn't really a death sentence for you, but maybe he has enough strength back, he has enough pain tolerance in that foot that if he gets that belt, then he can really drive and push forward like he wasn't able to in the previous Basho. So really hoping that this month and a half, him being back in training, him actually participating in the Soken, indicates he's feeling good enough to participate. And if he's doing that, then I have to imagine he's feeling better than he did in the last Basho. So that should result in at least 1 more win.
And if we're all kind of, it sounds like, on the same page that Onosato's unlikely to be a threat this time. Yeah. The other big 3 guys that Aonishiki will have to face, Kirishima, Kotozakura, Hoshoryu, he's 4-1, 5-1, and 5-1 against those 3 guys. Stylistically, a healthy Aonishiki, the toe is the only thing stopping me from picking him for like the unequivocal favorite for this Basho. So like if that toe has healed and if it is just ring rust and taking it easy in practice, like if he is healthy, I think that he's got to be in Yusho contention. So it really is just frustratingly often it does come down to this, but just how injured is he? And yeah, to me, I think the toe, if he wasn't favoring the toe in that practice, I'm pretty optimistic. I would pick him to be. I think right now, if you made me pick between losing record and Yusho contention, I'd put him in Yusho contention.
I hope you're right. I do. I was just coming into this one pessimistic. We were so full of hope after the Hoshoryu Onosato double Yokozuna promotion, and now Onosato's done this, and then Aonishiki was coming. It's like, that's all right. Aonishiki's going to be there now. Aonishiki
will be fine.
I do agree. Overall, it's a blip, but we're still in the moment of the blip, and I want it to go away.
So we still got to deal with it. It's still here.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, we still got 2 Ozeki left. Are we gonna leave Kotozakura for last, you guys?
It's your pick.
It's your pick now.
It's my pick. All right, no, we're talking Kotozakura.
All right.
We're not going to do the obvious thing and leave him for last. We're talking Kotozakura, and will he be able to bounce back?
You got 10-5.
He got 10-5 last time. Is he going to be able to get back-to-back double-digit Bashos? Looking at the results of the YDC Soken, he went 3-7. He said he was not satisfied with the score, but he had a few moments where he was able to powerfully move forward without being fixated on getting a hold of the opponent's Mawashi. He said, the fact that I'm showing that kind of sumo to some extent is a good sign that I'm preparing for the next Basho. He said, I was able to find out my current condition. It's important to practice hard and see how far I can go in the remaining week. And he says, I want to aim for the Yusho. couple days after the YDC Soken, after training on the 3rd, it was reported that his thrusts, pushes, and initial movements with his right hand were sharp, and he didn't back down easily even when attacked. He said, "I'm in good condition right now," and his Oyakata, Sarokatake Oyakata, said his expression has become brighter. So, Fleric, what are you thinking about Koto Zakura following those comments where it seems like he feels like his form might be improving?
Some of those comments kind of gave me some questions. So he's trying not to touch the belt. Is he kind of trying to do a change in style of where to a more consistent style?
I don't necessarily think so. I think what I read from that, where he said without being fixated on the belt, I think he's trying to maybe go with the flow of the match, and if he's if he's just constantly trying to go for the belt and that's not happening, maybe you got to change your attack style for that bout. And just always going for the belt was hampering him in the past because he was just so one-minded on doing that. So just kind of allowing your body to naturally feel like, I don't have to get the belt, I can force my opponent out otherwise, is probably more what he was saying. Less gonna completely change my style, but if I can't get the belt, I know what to do.
Yeah. The belts are very bright and shiny in Makuuchi, so that makes sense.
I was gonna say, just from like being in that position, it's very easy to forget where you are in the ring if you're trying to do something specific. So yeah, for him, like if grabbing the belt, if that's the thing that his brain wants to fixate on, what if he grabs the belt but suddenly he's already moving backwards by the time he gets that belt, you know? So I understand why that's something that a habit that he wants to break. He wants to focus on movement more so than the individual techniques. That could be something that'll help him mentally stay in the matches longer.
Yeah, I guess I asked the question because he is super successful. Like he is really good. So you would think that I don't know. I feel like if he's trying to work on something specific like that, he's trying to work on changing his instinct, what he does in a match. That kind of seems like, I guess, I don't know. That seems kind of like trying to really work on style, kind of very similar to what Hakaku was trying to say. Rather than trying to go for a throw, try to do something else instead. So yeah. I just thought that was kind of interesting. Maybe he's actually kind of really thinking about his brand of sumo.
Well, and I wonder if maybe he got stuck in a rut with his knee injury that he had. He never sat out of a basho, but that clearly affected him and has been affecting him. So I wonder if maybe he just kind of got stuck into a rut with a certain style where like maybe he just had to get the belt because he couldn't trust his knee to get like the forward momentum and power. And so maybe he's finally able to work out of that because like his training after the Soken, it said like his movements with his right hand were sharp, his thrusts and pushes and initial movements were all looking good. And I think the big thing, he didn't back down easily even when attacked. I think for me, that's him maybe getting trust in his lower body again. After I think it's hasn't been reported on a whole lot. I think they probably kept it under wraps, but my guess is he's just been dealing with lower body injury since his 14-1 U show, and then he went 5-10 after, and maybe he's feeling better. I think big sign of positivity I'm getting is Sarokatake Oyakata saying his expression has become brighter. So I think they're seeing it in the stable and maybe Koto Zakura's feeling is like, I don't know. I'm actually feeling positive about Koto Zakura prior to a basho for the first time in a little while.
In a while.
Yeah.
I wonder if the expression thing, if he's doing his rock eyebrow, but with a smile. Maybe he's face rock instead of heel rock right now.
I want that big goof. I love that big goofy face he does staring down Hitsuke Bito. I want that to like feel more. I want that to happen before a big match and not before an 8-6 Koto Zakura phones it in before going 8-7 on day 15.
Yeah, exactly. It's such a weird, out of place thing for like such a the least flashy wrestler that has ever existed to have this silly expression that he does. I love it.
He lets
so much.
all of his personality out in that like one instance.
Yep.
All right.
It's a little release valve for him.
everybody is a little bit introvert and a little bit extrovert, right? It's a spectrum. He just gets all of his extrovert out in that 1-2 second moment.
One burst.
And he's done.
Then he's done.
No, that's promising to hear. Maybe it's his footwork. I think is one of his strongest things that he's had in the past. So maybe he's just trying to kind of go back to his winning ways of when he was very successful, and maybe his knees feeling better, so he can kind of get back to his old style. So yeah, I'm positive. I like the guy. I like Ozeki when they do well instead of a continuous like Kadoban back and forth. So
yeah.
I'm also positive about this. Hopefully we see another double digit.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to see him back in Yusho contention because I do like Koto Sakura. It's been a year and a half of just absolutely nothing from him. Yeah. So let's talk about our last Rikishi we have available, and that is our current Yusho champion, 3-time Yusho champion, 2-time Ozeki Kirishima, who went 10-4 in the YDC Soken. He's the only other Rikishi besides Hoshoryu to have a winning record in that training session, and he did end up with the most wins, particularly against Hoshoryu. He went 6-3. Kirishima said, "My body moved better than I expected. I want to do more bouts in the future." So he's just talking about, I want to increase the amount of training bouts that I'm doing more than the 14 he did there. There was a moment where it seemed like he may have injured his elbow during the YDC Soken, but he immediately brushed that off and said, no, that's nothing. He did go on a Daigeko session the day after the YDC Soken, and he talked to the press afterwards, who asked him about being a favorite to win the Yusho, and he emphasized taking things easy, saying, more than that, I want to focus on what I need to do. So, like, you have Aonishiki, who we're getting hints of, like, honesty and, like, what he's feeling and stuff like that and not being sure. And then Kirishima's just, I want to focus on what I need to do.
Makes sense.
That gives us absolutely nothing.
Very Sumo of him.
Yes, very, very
That's
Sumo
right.
of
Makes
Kirishima.
sense. Very Sumo. I get it.
Yeah. And then, I mean, it's apropos that we get to Kirishima last because we've talked about Chairman Hikaku's comments on everybody, which, by the way, could not find a single comment about Koto Sakura from Chairman Hikaku. So that probably speaks volumes right there.
I hope that at some press conference they're like, okay, you've talked about the other guys. What about Koto Sakura? And he just goes, who?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Move on.
Sorry.
He was there, which is more than you could say about Onosato.
There you go. Manages a backhanded compliment insult at the same time there.
Yep.
Good work.
But yeah, in stark contrast to the rest of Chairman Hikaku's comments that we've read today, he apparently even smiled when talking about Kirishima and said he's in great spirits. You can definitely feel the momentum he gained from winning the last tournament. So, Jake, what do you expect out of Kirishima in his return to the Ozeki rank?
I think it's about time that I finally get positive on Kirishima, because I know that I've kind of been a stick in the mud. Like, he's been, let's see. So let me bring up his record real quick. Since he got Ozeki the first time and was on the verge of a rope at the beginning of 2024, he's been fine. Like, he had a couple Basho where he was injured right away after that, and I think that kind of soured me on him, and it took me a long time to come around. But, like, we've really, me personally, I have kind of been neglecting to include him in the top guys, and I appreciate that he has forcefully reinserted himself into that into that role here. I mean, I'm pretty positive. It seems like the last year or so he had 6 and 9. But other than that, the last 2 years, he has been great. He's been
4 of his last 6 have been 11 or more wins.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's doing very good, and I can't really ignore that anymore. So I'm honestly not sure why I have, but, like, yeah, I don't expect it to change that much. Aonishiki has a winning record against him, but against the other ones, he and Hoshoryu are pretty close to even. He has a slight edge over Koto Sakura. And he certainly has a slight edge over almost everybody else because he's been at the top for so long and, beaten everybody that he has to stay here.
I would not be surprised if Kirishima was on a Yokozuna run after this Basho.
Ooh,
Just,
really?
if things go how we're expecting, no Onosato, Aonishiki reduced based on a toe injury, him being even with Hoshoryu, him being basically even or greater than even with Koto Sakura,
It's about
and
2
just
to 1.
his what's that?
It's about 2-1 over Koto Sakura. He has a decent edge, but it's not one-sided.
Having a great edge over Koto Sakura. And then, I mean, clearly, like I said, he's gotten 11 or more all the past few Basho. He stepped it up another level where he was 12-1, wrapped it up with a loss on day 14. You look at the field laid out in front of Kirishima, and I think there's a very good argument to say he goes back to back here and is in contention for Yokozuna promotion after this Basho. Like, it's probably just recent success for Kirishima saying this because he did win the last Basho, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he was the favorite over Hoshoryu here.
I think the one thing to keep in mind, though, is that despite all of his peaks here at 11 wins, 12 wins over these last 2 years, he does drop a 6-9 every now and then, or an 8-7 every now and then. And
if you ignore that,
but if I ignore the things he does poorly, then yes, no,
which I am choosing to do.
I would love. I like I said, I'm turning a page here on Kirishima. I am positive, but that does scare me a little bit because putting 3 in a row like he did. He has not put 3 in a row, 3 good ones in a row since he was promoted to Ozeki the first time. Yeah. So that's the only thing that I'm tapping the brakes on that train. I expect good things from him, but I also expect the occasional dud. So I would hesitate to say that he is the favorite over Hoshoryu here, but I definitely think that he is probably tied for being the favorite.
I think they got to be at least the top 2, right?
I think they are the top 2. Yes, that's where I'm at with Aonishiki and as like number 2 and Koto Sakura 2A. Maybe that's where I'd be putting him. But yeah, Kirishima. The only thing that scares me is the month-to-month consistency. So if he stays healthy, I have no qualms about how good he is. If he shows up healthy, just like I said about Aonishiki before, then he's absolutely in the conversation. But yeah, I'm tapping the brakes, not pumping them, just tapping the brakes, just a teeny tiny bit. I am definitely overall very positive here.
I think odds are more in favor Kirishima's not going to win the Yusho. I think we're kind of in a situation where the favorites are less than 50% over the rest of the field.
Sure.
Like I might give Hoshoryu and Kirishima like 20% each, and then the rest of the field, if even that, and then the rest of the field is 60%. That's kind of how I'm feeling going into this Basho. But still, 1/5 of a chance means I wouldn't be that surprised if we're talking about a potential Yokozuna run for Kirishima after this Basho.
And now he's jinxed. Well done.
I mean,
well, I like him now, so that's probably the worst curse anyone could put
That's
on.
what I mean. It's like, oh no.
All right. Vibe checks, assuming both Hoshoryu and Kirishima are healthy. Who's the favorite? I'll start off. I'm going to keep with my boy Hoshoryu.
I would pick Hoshoryu in that instance.
Okay.
Big Hoss.
I mean, I did just say Kirishima, so I'm really not going to ask if I went the other way. So
that
I'm
was a
say
minute ago when you were
Kirishima.
young and reckless.
Yeah. I've learned and
bringing-
grown so much since then.
You're putting forth a thing where we could be on the Yokozuna run after this, which is good. You know, that could
I
still
think
be a
they're very
possibility.
even.
Yeah.
Just maybe a slight edge to Kirishima, just because he just
Really?
he just did it. He just did it. And Hoshoryu's kind of, I think Hoshoryu is in his head a little bit about not winning a Yusho yet as a Yokozuna.
He's been in his head for a while.
Yeah.
There is definitely, I feel like, a mental game that he's trying to figure out. But once he figures it out, watch out.
I think we used to think Hoshoryu had such a strong mental, and I'm not sure about that anymore.
He's got a great stare down still, though.
He does. He's got that going for him. All right. We've talked about the top 2 ranks for about an hour now, so let's give at least maybe 20 minutes to everybody else.
All right, here we go.
Each, right?
Yeah, of course. Obviously.
God.
We're here for the long haul. But let's start at Sekiwake, where we've got 2 brand new Rikishi to hold the rank of Sekiwake. I think it was Leonard from Tachiai Blog said this is the first time since 2022 that we have 2 people that were both holding the rank of Sekiwake for the first time. I don't remember who it was, but somebody look that up for me real quick. But we have Atami Fuji and Koto Shoho. Both of them at the press conferences after the Bansuke was released, where they're officially made Sekiwake, had said this is a stepping stone. They have higher heights they want to reach of Ozeki and Yokozuna, what everybody would say.
Wakataka Kage and Abi in March of 22.
Oh, okay.
So about 4 years ago, first time in 4 years, we've had 2 newcomers at Sekiwake.
2022, that's barely yesterday. Oh my God.
Oh God.
So obviously the Sekiwake themselves have high hopes for themselves, but Sadogatake Oyakata, Koto Shoho's coach, may be a little too lofty in his expectations. I love this quote from him. So about Koto Shoho, Sadogatake Oyakata said, I want him to wear the Yokozuna belt as soon as possible with this physique. Ozeki is just a stepping stone, and I hope he and Koto Sakura can both wear the Yokozuna belts. I just love the audacity of somebody who has not even fought a single match in the Sanyaku, has been wiped off of the Bansuke every time he's been in the Joy, have the audacity to say, Ozeki is a stepping stone.
Unbelievable.
Oh,
that guy who got
Sadogatake is smoking something great.
Yeah.
7 and 8 from Maegashira 10 in November. Like,
buddy.
That's the type of hype man you want in your corner, though.
I mean, fair, but whoa. Okay, the physique. I'm gonna drop down on here. Of the 2, I would have more faith in Atami Fuji. At least he would have the physique. I would say, like, okay, this guy could actually hang with the big guys at the top, and we have predicted him to eventually get there. I'm hoping that this is his time. That he's like, okay, let's see if you can actually start stringing together some wins and get to that Ozeki rank. Koto Shoho, buddy.
I think these guys are at 2 very different levels right now. They're both at a prove it level. Atami Fuji is like, all right, yeah, we've seen you the past couple of Basho. You can hang with the big boys. You can take down the big boys. We think you might be Ozeki material. Now, let's do it again. Prove it. Maybe get double digits at Sekiwake. Take down some of these big boys and really cement yourself here. Koto Shoho is just like, can you get 5 wins and not completely embarrass yourself like you have every other time you've been this close or this high on the Bansuke? Like, I feel like that's where we're at with Koto Shoho. Now, to his credit, Koto Shoho won a Yusho last year. He won the Nagoya Basho. He went 13-2. He became the lowest ranked Rikishi to pick up a Kinboshi ever. But most of the time he was fighting lower ranked guys. And last Basho, and then like Jake said, he went 7 and 8. Or no, he went 3 and 12 the Basho after that, and then followed it up with the 7 and 8.
Yep.
And then he got like 8 and 7, 9 and 6 the time after
he
that.
fell.
And then he got an 11 and 4 from Maegashira 5, where once again he was skirting most of the Sanyaku Rikishi, and I think he only had 3 matches against the Sanyaku last Basho. So this was just really improving. It was really just Koto Shoho, like, don't get double digit losses. That's kind of where I'm at with Koto Shoho.
Yeah, no kidding. I love it because that's the most absurd non-sumo coach statement I've ever heard in my life. But like, hey, imagine if he delivers.
I mean, he'll shut me up.
This guy was a fluke once, and he's gonna be the greatest ever. And if he nails that, oh my God, that's calling your home run kind of a deal right there. That would be incredible.
He's back up here. You know what? He's back up here.
Well, you say he's back up here. No, he's here for the first time.
Up in the Joy, but yes.
Right. He's made it to M3 before, but that was it.
M3, he went 2-13. That was back in 2021, though. So, I mean,
yeah,
he's grown since then. And then he hasn't been back since. I think the highest he's been since was an M4 where he went 7-8, and then an M5 where he went 3-12 and pulled out at the end due to injury.
Whoa. He did have an M5 where he went 6-9. So
okay, so not double-digit loss.
Yeah, that's the most premature thing I've. Yeah, it would be one thing if it was a guy that hadn't like if he was just on his way up. Like if somebody said that about Aonishiki a year ago or whatever. That's one thing, but Koto Shoho is not new.
Actually, this is the 10th longest rise to Sanyaku after a Makuuchi debut ever, with it being 35. Crazy, actually. 35 Basho since his July 2020 top division debut. If you had put a gun to my head and said, what year did Koto Shoho debut in the top division? It would have been like 2022, 2023. I would not have thought to say 2020.
Yeah, 2020. He came in and went 8 wins, 10 wins, 8 wins, and clearly got some significant Bansuke luck because that put him all the way up to M3, where, he got 2 wins. Ugh. And then, he's been Juryo a few times, hovering in the double-digit Maegashira, occasionally doing pretty good, like that Yusho, or nope, that's it. And then, got 11 in March, and that's I just don't see it. Like the peaks are not peaky enough for me to believe that could be a consistent place for him to live.
The peaks aren't consecutive, which is my concern.
That too.
So I think, could he have a Basho or two and look great in the Sanyaku? Potentially, probably, but I just can't see him.
Ozeki's
I can't see him as Ozeki after we've seen him for apparently 6 years. Let alone making
allegedly
Ozeki be a stepping stone. Yeah.
No.
I do have faith that Atami Fuji can stay here for a little while, eventually turn it into an Ozeki run. I do have that faith in Atami Fuji. Is it based off of only the past 2 Basho? Yeah, but I think
recency bias.
he very well might have turned a corner. That happens. Could Koto Shoho also have turned a corner? Yes, obviously, of course. This is when Kirishima made this, about the range when Kirishima made his first run for Ozeki.
True.
But also,
then look what happened to Kirishima.
True, and I just don't think it's happening for Koto.
No, then he got smacked down, Fleric.
I
injured. True.
Yeah. I love how you're at least recognizing that, Koto Shoho, but Atami Fuji, I believe this.
I do. Between the two.
Atami Fuji is 23 years old. He's got a lot left in him. I guess Koto Shoho is only 26, so like that's not a crazy age difference, but the fact that Atami Fuji is here at 23 and I think weaponized bigness, is that the term I used last time?
Yep.
Like he's
weaponized bigness.
He's really figured out how to use his body the way that it's with the lemons he's been given as far as his high center of gravity and whatnot and whatever. The lemonade of doing well in the joy is definitely happening here. So I'm positive on Atami Fuji. I wouldn't be shocked if Koto Shoho did okay, but not. I would be blown away if he approached anywhere near the stratosphere of his coach's opinion. So,
all right, let's hop down another rank. Let's talk about our Komusubi a little bit. We've got Wakataka Kage coming in, recovering from the elbow injury that forced him out of the previous Basho. I don't believe he competed in the Jungyo tour at all. I didn't hear anything about if he was at the YDC Soken or not, but I assume he was, because the one riksha I did hear wasn't at the YDC Soken was his fellow Komusubi Takayasu, who Takayasu did complete the Jungyo tour. He said this was the first time that he completed a Jungyo tour since his Ozeki days. So Takayasu feeling good in that regard, but also absent from the YDC Soken. So, and always talk with Takayasu about his chronic back pain. We saw how he started off gangbusters in the previous Basho, starting off 5-0, honestly looking like the best Rikshi in that first 5-day section. And then he lost 8 of his next 9 matches and just looked completely defeatable. So don't know what version of Takeyasu, and we might see both versions of Takeyasu this Basho. But of these two, that Wakataka Kage coming in injured, Takeyasu just chronically injured, who do we have more confidence in holding on to the rank of Komusubi?
I'd rather not answer that question.
That's what I'd say. Oh, this one's hard.
This one is tough. I guess, like, Takeyasu, I know who I blatantly pick with my heart here. Of course, I think I've got more confidence in him just because his mental game is I think better at coming back from a devastating losing streak like that, because he's had a lot of them. And he is as stoic as they come. He'll just keep doing sumo, and he'll usually do pretty okay at it. So Wakataka Kage, the injury that forced him out, that's obviously, some amount of recency bias. If it took him out of the Basho, it had to be a significant injury.
It was like a 6-week recovery time on that.
What a coincidence that it always ends right before the Basho.
Yeah.
But regardless, that specific injury, as opposed to Takeyasu just being kind of a general ball of injury, that could be a bit worrisome to me. So I guess I'm just going to default to picking with my heart and say Takeyasu's going to get, 12 wins floor, maybe.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Probably more.
I know who I want to stay, and that would be Takeyasu, but I'm like, oh, it's just the injuries mount, especially it's his back. And like with Wakataka Kage's elbow being the part that's injured, I'm like, okay, that sucks, and I'm sorry that's going to affect your style, but it's not your back. So like any kind of back injury, I always add a little bit more emphasis on. So I want Takeyasu to stay, but back injuries do not improve with time. At least elbows could maybe recover a little, right?
Allegedly, they've done it before. I assume they'll do it again.
We ain't body scientists here.
That's true.
We sure ain't.
I'm going with Yasu.
Really? Yeah, I mean, Wakataka Kage does have the injury. I don't know. I'm not, as you can tell, is how I set it up. I'm not feeling great about either of. What happened to Mac?
Did he just leave?
I guess. So we'll truck on, but I'm not feeling too positive about either of our Komusubi here. I think it could be rough for them, but Takeyasu has somehow managed to stay in the Sanyaku for a full year, despite having half of those Bashos be losing records. So he's got some sort of Bansuke magic happening right now. Let's move on and talk about our top-ranked Maegashira, who is Fuji no Kawa, who I think surprised quite a few people in the last Basho as a Maegashira 2, picking up a Kinboshi against both Hoshoryu and Onosato before Onosato ducked out. He got 8 wins, and he got a special prize, which was good enough to get him to the top Maegashira rank, where if he gets 8 wins again, he will be promoted up to the Sanyaku ranks. What are we feeling for Fuji no Kawa? What are our expectations? Do we think he has a repeat performance, or do we think kind of reality comes crashing down for this guy? Hey, there he is.
Yeah.
Welcome
Sorry
back.
about that. I was like, I just unplugged something.
Mac, what do you think about what I just said?
I think that Fuji no Kawa going to be great as a top Maegashira. I think he's going to be awesome.
Oh, good.
I'm picking with my heart in that regard as well, because I want him to do well. I love his sumo so much.
Yeah, I'm pro Fuji no Kawa, not just with the heart, but also with the head. 21 years old, steady progress. He hasn't gotten blown up despite debuting in the Joy. He didn't get completely washed out like Koto Shoho has every time he's been up here. Sorry for the strays there, but yeah, I don't know. I think Fuji no Kawa is kind of coming into his own. He is a lightning fast, always super intense kind of guy, but we know that tends to mellow as guys get their feet under them as in their long-term career. I don't know. I hope he doesn't, though. I hope he just continues to go balls to the wall every single match all the time.
He's so fun to watch.
Yeah. So I don't know. I would guess, I would say probably between 7 and 9 wins. But I guess I'm leaning towards, I'm hoping he can get like 9. I think that would be a very cool progression. It's been a while since we've had anything complicated in the Bansuke for Komusubi and Sekiwake rank. So I'd love especially for him to open that door again.
Yeah, I want to. That would be great. Wakataka Kage, Takayasu both get winning records. Fujinakawa get a winning record. Force open a third Komusubi slot, and then we can get rid of the Maegashira 17 rank for the first time in a while.
Ooh, a balanced Bansuke.
Yes. But yeah, Fujinakawa, I hope the greatest things for him. I don't have the highest hopes in the real world, but we'll see. He obviously proved a lot of people wrong last time. And then, I mean, we're not going to talk about everybody, but like the rest of the Joy, Takanosho, Yoshino Fuji, Ichi Yamamoto, Hida Umi, Oho, Daisho, Gonoyama. I feel like we kind of we know what to expect out of these guys, and it's nothing great. At this location on the Bansuke. The one exception might be like Yoshino Fuji, who could pop off, but he's been pretty steadily 8-7, 7-8 guy for the past half year in this position.
Yeah.
And he's also recovering from like a burst eardrum that pulled him off the Jungyo tour.
Nice.
So we'll see how they do. I just don't know that they're going to factor too positively into the outcome of this Basho.
Yeah, I think Yoshino Fuji, I definitely do want to bring him up because I am pretty high on him. I think he is the same situation as Atami Fuji, just maybe a year behind in the trajectory. Because he rocketed all the way up to Maegashira 1 before he finally got a 7 and 8, which is still fine for your first time at that rank. I think that speed bump will help him learn and grow, and I expect him to be debuting at Sekiwake at some point here. I don't know. I like the guy. I like his sumo, and I don't think that a 7 and 8 from Maegashira 1 is any reason to slow down that hype train almost at all.
Yeah. I guess how about you guys? Like kind of this Basho feels like a Basho where the Sanyaku, or at least the Sanyaku, like Komusubi and up are gonna soak up a lot of the wins, and like it's gonna be a real meat grinder for the Maegashira boys and the Joy. So do people agree with this? Or would be room for a couple Maegashira people to get some like standout performances?
I personally feel like there's room. I feel like with Onosato out, Aonishiki injured, we know Hoshoryus is going to drop a couple of matches. I could say that I feel positive about Koto Zakura, but we know he's going to 8-7 at the end of the day.
You can say it, but if you had to put money on it, we know you wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly. And then, I mean, you've got 2 newcomers at Sekiwake and 2 old injured guys at Komusubi. I feel like there is room for somebody in the Joy to jump up and have a great record and kind of surprise us. If I had to choose somebody, probably like Yoshino Fuji, maybe Oho, Takanosho. He usually sucks in the Joy, but when he's right outside of the Joy, he'll pop off for like 11, 12 wins. Maybe he can actually do that within the Joy this time. Sure. So I think there's room, and those would be the 3 guys that I might call out for that. But I still don't expect any of them to be Yusho contenders, but I think we can get a few winning records up in the Joy this time and not have it be a complete wash.
Sure.
How about you guys? Do you have any faith in the Maegashira Joy at all?
I'm kind of with Ryan here. At first glance, I thought this was kind of top heavy, and I was thinking it would be a bloodbath in the upper Maegashira. But I think we've kind of just been spoiled by all of these hot prospects over the last couple of years, that when we have a perfectly serviceable Joy full of veterans who know what they're doing and are good wrestlers that don't appear to have any devastating injuries, now I'm kind of thinking maybe the other way. You said Komusubi and up, and I'm like, yeah, the Sanyaku. Wait, no, I don't have that much faith at all in those 2 Komusubi. I just spent a whole bunch of time trash talking Koto Shoho. I guess Kirishima's the only one that I've said anything nice about in a while. So I don't know. I would be willing to bet that somebody in the Joy is going to deliver. I think odds are good that that's going to happen. It would be cool if it went the way I wanted. Fujinokawa would be that one. But who knows? Yeah, Oho, he's had a great record and gotten into a playoff before. He's a guy that can deliver in the right circumstances. All these guys, I think, could pop up for double digits at some. It could not that very
Not
many
will, but could.
You know what I mean?
Theoretically.
Yeah, I think this is a Basho where we could. I don't think it's likely to happen, but I think this is kind of a field where I wouldn't be shocked to see like a Maegashira Yusho.
It might be that one for the year. Yeah, just
oh wow,
just one wild card dark horse Yusho.
Fuji Ryoga from Maegashira 17.
Exactly.
Not necessarily him, but he is in the Magical Maegashira 17 rank, so he is in the best.
There's
position.
power.
There is a lot of power there. All right.
Yeah. But no, I was looking at this and I think maybe one person can have like maybe stand out. But I think the top heavy, like Hoshoryus, I have good belief. Onosato, I do not believe he's going to be in this Basho.
Right.
But Koto Zakura looked pretty good. Aonishiki, I think he's going to get his 8 and 7 at the end of the day. Kirishima's looking good. Atama Fuji, Koto Shoho, they're young kids, and I think they have a lot to prove. It's only when we get to Komusubi when I start having some doubts, especially that Wakataka Kage guy.
Yeah. Other than
maybe there's one room for like one more person to like have a standout. But I just remember looking at this as like eventually someone's gonna have to lose. Someone's gonna have to like not do well. And I realized everything's like in the Maegashira area for that because I have some faith in the people in the top. I have some faith.
Yeah. For me, it's basically Koto Shoho down to Churanoumi at Maegashira 6 East. Like that entire group, I have middling expectations for and don't see a whole lot of excitement outside of Fujinokawa and Yoshino Fuji, like I already mentioned. I don't know. I'm interested to see where our Chump picks are going to land. You know, when something's actually on the line, what are we actually going to pick?
Right.
But yeah, for me, I think that the take the very top guys off, and after those top 5 guys, I don't see a whole lot of excitement, which means that it's, I agree with Ryan. I think this one is primed for some weirdness. Maybe somebody who we've never paid attention to coming out of nowhere for a Yusho race and overperforming.
All right, let's continue to move down the Bansuke a little bit. There's a group of 3 Rikishi right in a row, if you're looking at the Bansuke, not necessarily in the order, that caught my eye. And it's Maegashira 6 West, Maegashira 7 West, and Maegashira 8 West. Fuji Seiyun, Asakoryu, Asahakuryu, who are all going to be at their career high ranks, kind of back to back to back in the rankings there. Who are we thinking is going to kind of rise to the occasion, get a winning record here, and who do we think is fighting above their weight and is going to be dropping back down the Bansuke here? Jake, what are you thinking about these 3?
I would put all 3 of them in the latter category.
Oh.
I don't Fuji Seiyun and Asahakuryu are new names to us in the top division, but they're guys that I think are getting kind of like a lifetime achievement award presence in the top division. Asakoryu has proven that he can hang in the lower Maegashira, but like all 3 of these guys are roughly the same age. They're in their late 20s. They're not guys that like odds are not great that any of the 3 of them have like truly turned a corner and they're going to be contenders now. And with all 3 of them being higher in the Bansuke than they've ever been before, I think I'd have to pick against all 3 of them. But if you're making me pick, I kind of want to go with Asakoryu because I know him better. I've seen him longer and I know what he's all about. And I think that a little guy who is higher on the Bansuke than he should be, there's a decent chance that guy is confusing enough to people that don't wrestle him all the time. And that he might get a sneaky Enho mid Maegashira good record kind of a situation.
I'll say I think you're a little too down on Asahakuryu and Fuji Seiyun.
Never.
Yes. But maybe not necessarily on Asahakuryu for this particular Basho. He was out of the Jungyo Tour for a while due to some back issues, and he's recently started getting back into training. But apparently a week ago, the skin on his left big toe hardened, making it impossible for him to even perform the basic sumo stomping exercise.
What?
He got some antibiotics and IV fluids, and he was able to wrestle for the first time at the YDC Soken. And he has a quote saying, "My back is completely fine now. My leg is also getting better. I'm at about 65-70% of my full strength, but I still have another week to go."
What does that mean? Did he get the Game of Thrones thing?
Yeah, stone skin.
Yeah.
Don't know. No more details were offered. That's all I've got.
I can't wrestle. My skin is too hard. I'm fascinated. I wonder if that's a translation thing.
Grayscale. That's what it was. It's like grayscale.
There you go. But regardless, if any injury news certainly makes me feel more strongly about what I already said.
If I were to put faith, I would say Fuji Seiyon. I'm excited about him. We'll see. He's on the older side, but I think he's still solid. I don't think he's gonna get wiped off the face of the earth here. All right,
I'd have to go with
he's 28. Man, I hate being. When we started this podcast, most of these guys were older than us at the top.
True. But I'd have to go with Asakoryu a little bit, because just from what Jake was saying, we've seen him a little bit more. We know what he can do. We know he can at least hang in the lower ranks. I would have a little more faith in him than Fuji Seiun or Asahakoryu, but I don't necessarily think that they're going to sink. I think it's not going to be pretty, but I could see each of them eking out maybe an 8-7 or a 7-8.
Yeah, I have no opinion other than I think they're in the age rank where we kind of consider probably their prime. So this might be kind of just like a high point. But yeah, who knows? We'll see.
All right, let's go a little bit higher in the age bracket and lower on the Bansuke. So I got another group of three that are kind of stacked on top of each other in the Bansuke that I think we can kind of lump together, that being Maegashira 9 East Abi, Maegashira 10 East Asanoyama, and Maegashira 11 East Ura. And I'm going to kind of take some inspiration from our old friend Mr. J-Wags and ask, with these three guys, which way are we going? With Abi, we have seen him kind of yo-yoing back and forth the past few Basho, getting a 5-10, 10-5, a 4-11 over the past few Bashos. Asanoyama, he's been slowly rising since he showed back up in the top division, but he has not been anywhere near kind of what we expected. And Ura, we are kind of would expect him to have better results. He was Maegashira 8 last time and got 5-10.
Yeah.
So with these three guys kind of in this lower area, which way we going? Are we going to continue going down with Abi and Ura? Are we going to bounce back, go back up? What are you guys thinking with these three?
I think I have faith of the slow climb of Asanoyama, at least a little bit more.
I agree with that.
My faith in Abi is waning. So I think I actually might go. I think he might be either it's going to be just an 8-7 or just kind of a more slow decline for that guy. And my heart cannot say Ura won't have a winning record and stick around.
Good
forever.
man.
That was.
I'm getting worried.
Test.
I'm getting worried.
We were testing you. You pass. You're not allowed to say mean things about Ura. Yeah, I agree with you. Asanoyama, not just because he was the one of these three that got a winning record last time, but I do believe that like he's had so many injury issues, but the last year or so that he has been back from his most recent significant injury, he's been okay. And I still believe that he has, unless there's a new injury, which is of course very possible, I think that he is still wrestling below his talent, he's ranked below his talent. I think that he'll keep rising for a little bit again, unless he gets injured again. I think he'll probably have another run in the joy in him, and I cannot say that with as much confidence about the other two.
Fun fact, Asanoyama, in completing the January and March tournaments in the top division, completed back-to-back Basho in the top division, where he fought in all 15 matches for the first time since it looks like January and March of 2021.
Oh my.
So yeah, even his previous stint after his first comeback to the top division, he never finished back-to-back tournaments because he just kept getting injured.
Yeah. Woof. Cool. So so
He's due.
Yeah, he's
due.
He's due to get hurt again.
Well, we've been saying that about Takayasu for a while, and Takayasu's completed every Basho in a row for has it been 6 or 7 now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Takayasu's completed 10 consecutive tournaments?
10? My Takayasu?
The one and the same.
Oh, interesting.
When's the last time he completed 10 consecutive tournaments? How far back do I got to go?
We gotta stay on the rails here, I think.
2015 to 2017 was the last time he did 10 in a row.
Buddy.
So Takayasu, as healthy as he's ever been.
In terms of ups and downs here, I would say Abi, little red arrow down. Like, nope, sorry, bud, I'm not seeing it. Asanoyama, little green arrow going up. I'm like, okay, all right, not bad. Ura, 3 green arrows going up. We got it. He's M11. He's going back to the top, baby. He's fine.
This is 11-4 Ura all over it.
It literally. He's M11.
The shocking Maegashira Yusho winner we're looking for.
At long, could you imagine his smile if he actually pulls off a Yusho?
Flair just showed more emotion than I've seen out of him.
What a wonderful world that would be. Oh, I want to live in that world. Let's make it happen.
I don't like this one. I prefer Max World. Yeah.
All right. And then the last question I had about anybody in the top division is Tamawashi. And could this be one of our last chances to see Tamawashi in the top division? It has been steadily going downwards from Tamawashi since he picked up a Junyu show, a special prize, and a Kinboshi in July of last year, where he went 11-4. He has since gone 6-9, 7-8, 5-10, 5-10, dropping down to Maegashira 13, the lowest he has been ranked since September of 2013.
Oh my God.
So things, Tamawashi finally is showing his age, it seemed like, and he is now in kind of the danger range of demotion, where a 5-10 record, another one, could see him demoted out of the top division. I'd have to assume if Tamawashi exits the top division, that would be it for his career. I can't see him fighting in Juryo at 41 years old trying to get back, but also dude's crazy. He might just do it. Also of note for Tamawashi, this is his 100th Basho in the top division, and milestone very, very few Rikishi have ever reached. So what are we expecting for Tamawashi this Basho?
I'm not expecting him to show his age because that's been wrong forever.
Well, until the past 4 tournaments since July of last year.
He has legitimately started looking like visibly less intense and less violent. Like he doesn't really give off that aura of I'm intending to end your life that he had for so long. Yeah,
especially elbows.
Yeah,
especially ending the lives of elbows. Not body scientists here, but he certainly did some damage to a few of them. Yeah, I'm pessimistic, but I'm hoping he can slow the damage so that we don't have to go through that grief just yet.
I don't think it's going to get any better. I think he's just going to continue to decline at this point. It's his 100th Basho in the top division. He's already smashed records. He's already set records. Buddy, it's time to hang up the Mawashi and don some more robes, please.
No.
Yeah, I love the tradition in like pro wrestling or mixed martial arts or whatever. You leave part of your gear in the ring when you walk out the last time. I'm so glad that's not a sumo tradition.
Just take off some like tape that's wrapping up a toe, please, for the love of God. If you're gonna leave anything behind.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
man.
they leave hair behind.
That's
like
true.
That's true. That is true.
Up to several years later, they leave their hair in the ring.
No, I thought I was gonna have a hot take, but Unk is washed. He has High Point. Yeah, it's all downhill from here.
Yeah, I wish I could be the voice of positivity, but I mean, old people gonna be old. So
Ryan.
Oh, I mean, no, he's gonna get an 8-7 record. He's gonna become the oldest Rikishi to ever get a winning record in the top division, and they're going to give him a fighting spirit prize just for the sake of having a winning record at the age of 41. There we go.
That sounds more in line with what I expect from you.
He's definitely not retiring before the end of the year.
What if he is the actual dark horse? What if the narrative is Ura, but what if Tamawashi pulls off one more Yusho and then hangs everything up after
Honestly, he was Bansuke maxing to get to the bottom here where he can, where he can pop off.
So it makes sense. I mean, that's gamesmanship right there.
I would be here for it, honestly. Yes. I'd be all about it. I could play. I probably complained plenty when Koto Shoho won the Yusho. You would not hear a single bad word out of my mouth. The Tamawashi won his third Yusho at 41 years old.
From the bottom.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Not a single Sanyaku bout on that record, and somehow he pulls it off.
All the Yokozuna and Ozeki have to pull out due to injury and this and whatnot, and Tamawashi's just there to clean it all up. Let's manifest that reality.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
but
I don't know. I kind of want my Ura
He
one.
started off 8-0, then he pulled out, and that's why Tamawashi hadn't fought him.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. We do have a Makuuchi debut to talk about, and this is Waka no Sho. He is in the Minatogawa Beya alongside of Taka no Sho. Minatogawa Oyakata, of course, being the former Taka Keisho, who took over as the head stable master after, I believe, January. Waka no Sho is 22 years old. He debuted in Jonokuchi in March of 2022 at 18 years old. Made it quickly to Makushita in just his 5th career basho. He would fight for a little over 2 years in Makushita before making his Juryo debut in March of 2025, exactly 3 years after his pro debut. In his 2nd basho in Juryo, he would pull out on day 3 due to a foot injury, and he fell back to Makushita. But then once he was back in Makushita, he would get 2 winning basho in a row, make it back to Juryo. And after returning to Juryo, he was a man on a mission. He would go 8-7, 12-3 Yusho, and 11-4 playoff loss. That playoff loss may have been disappointing on the day, but it was more than enough for him to earn his way into the top division. At Wakanosho's press conference after the release of the Bansuke, he said he sets his heights on reaching the Sanyaku, saying, "I want to do my best to go as far as I can." He apparently has a very close relationship with his new Oyakata, the former Taka Keisho. He said, "As soon as I joined the stable, he made me his attendant. He is someone I look up to, and I want to become stronger and repay him for that." Minatogawa Oyakata expressed his joy at his pupil making it to the top division, saying, "I'm so happy. I'm even happier than when I made my debut in the top division. I want him to win every single match. I want him to not be overwhelmed by the top division stage and to perform his own style of sumo to the fullest."
His style of sumo, by the way. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Flair.
Okay, so Taka Keisho pupil, right?
Yes.
How bowling ball shaped is he?
Not super, but I do believe his style is very push thrust heavy.
That's what I was going to bring up. This guy has 100. He has 130 wins in pro sumo. How many Yorikiris do you think he's got?
I'm looking at it, so I can't say.
He's got 2.
2.
This is, I was going to say, oh, buddy, does he wrestle like Taka Keisho? At least as far as the results go. Like, I haven't seen much tape or anything, but yeah, he has just a couple of the quick numbers to put it in perspective. Twice as many Oshidashi as is normal, twice as much Tsukiyotoshi as is normal, and 12 times as much Tsukidashi as is normal. Tsukidashi being like the impact, like the striking thrust out. That is not a very common one. That only happens about 2.5% of the time. And it's Wakanosho's second favorite move. So yeah, this is a pure pusher. Almost no pulling either. He has 6 Hataki Komis. It's all moving forward. It's not like a dual attack or anything like that.
That's what I was gonna say. That's his main difference to Takakeisho is the slap down is much lesser rate than that of a Takakeisho.
I bet if he's training with Takakeisho, he uses that slap down as a threat more so than something that is actually designed to end the match. Because he's constantly getting people out by just pure thrusting. And you got to mix it up a little bit to get that to work. But yeah, it is very clear what to expect from this guy when you see him on the screen.
Yeah, I'm actually getting pretty excited. I want to say Takakeisho is probably the best pusher thruster in the last generation or so. I'm trying to think of someone who might have been better than him.
Nobody's gotten to that rank with as one-dimensional a pushing game in forever. So that, certainly as long as we've been watching, and probably a lot longer, pure pushing doesn't get you to Ozeki except for Takakeisho.
Abi might be number 2.
Oh, okay, Abi.
Oh yeah, Abi.
I could see that. But Takakeisho definitely had the better career compared to Abi.
Certainly.
But yeah, no, this is pretty exciting, and he's also young. I think I saw 22.
22
is his age. Yeah. So I'm gonna just watch how bowling ball spherical he gets over time. I think that's
the real key to watch for you. Yeah.
All right. Is there anybody else in the top division that you guys want to bring up? I've clearly brought up all the people I want to talk about. But is there anybody else you guys want to mention before we move on?
No, this is a pretty full one. Fuji Ryoga. I hope that he can recover and get back on the prospect train. But yeah,
I will not be champing him again this Basho.
I assumed not. Yeah.
Real quick, my boy Shishi, keep going, buddy. M12, you keep hanging in there. You keep fighting in there, buddy.
I want him gone now.
No.
Mac just makes me annoyed at him.
Why?
Oh man.
The dude peaked at M11 a year ago.
And he's still hanging around.
He is. I'm just a hater. You know that.
Yeah, I know. I've known you for too long.
All right. Well, I guess Shishi is the note we're going out on the top division.
Yeah!
Unless Jake or Flair can save us.
Nope. Let's let that one sit.
All right. Do want to quickly mention 2 people in Juryo before we go on a break. An hour and 50 minutes into this podcast.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Midori Fuji, who had to sit out of the entirety of the last Basho, obviously dropped down from top division down to Juryo due to heart issues. He has said that he will be participating in the Natsu Basho. He is quoted as saying, "My heart itself wasn't bad, but it was caused by excessive drinking and high blood pressure," which, I mean, sounds like your heart is bad because of those things. Yeah. He is taking medication and reducing his salt intake, but he's working on getting his way back into shape. He said at one point he had lost 10 kilograms, which on anybody, that's a lot, but on Midori Fuji, that's an immense amount. On the 28th, he wrestled 4 times with top-ranked wrestlers in his stable and said, "I was completely defeated. I will gradually improve my condition." So I don't know that we're going to be expecting a whole lot of success from Midori Fuji this Basho. Just sounds good that he's in a position where he can wrestle, hopefully safely.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then, of course, the biggest news down in Juryo, the wee baby Enho is back in the salaried ranks. He's back fighting for 15 days in a Basho for the first time in 3 years. So it's just going to be real exciting to see him back in the salaried ranks again, see him fighting in Juryo. I don't know that I have the highest of hopes for Enho, but if we only got one more out of him, that's great. I'm glad to have at least one more. Hopefully it's more than that, but like I said, I don't have the highest of hopes.
Am I remembering correctly that getting back to the salaried ranks for one last Basho here makes him eligible to stay on as a coach?
Yes, if he's able to secure an elder stock, he is
right.
Eligible to get an elder stock.
Eligibility, I guess, is what I was remembering. So yeah, now this makes him eligible to obtain an elder stock and stay on as a coach. He would still have to do that, but at least now he is allowed to.
Correct. There you go.
Cool. Got it.
All right. And with that, we will take a break before we get back with the GSB belt. We'll have Jake's punishment, and we'll select our champs and chumps.
Jake's punishment?
Yeah.
We're owed a punishment from you, too.
What?
You're listening to Grand Sumo Breakdown, the world's #1 sumo podcast, according to 3 out of 4 hosts of Grand Sumo Breakdown. Keep an eye out for our preview, midway, and recap podcasts for every professional sumo tournament and a host of bonus episodes in between. Help support us by joining our Patreon and spreading the word about our show. Every penny we raise is reinvested in improving our podcast. We also help run amateur sumo events and produce the American Sumo newsletter, which you can find on our website, grandsumobreakdown.wordpress.com. Reach out to us on social media if there's anything you'd like to learn about sumo or if you'd like to try it yourself. Welcome back. We're going to take a quick look at the GSB belt. The third iteration of the winner's belt that we were just following for kicks ended up on Oshoma.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Extra awesome there. Oshoma is Maegashira 8 East. So, I don't know. We'll keep tracking it. And we'll probably end it after this Basho because the loser's belt is very likely to get to the absolute dregs bottom of Jonokuchi.
Wow.
Yep. It is on Yamada, who is, he was Jonidan 76, and he got the loser's belt at the end of last Basho, and is now at Jonokuchi 9. So Jonokuchi is similar to basically Makushita on down. You kind of just get matched up. If you win, you go up against somebody who won. If you lost, you go up against somebody else who lost. So it effectively is designed in such a way that the winner's belt will move quickly up, and the loser's belt will move quickly down through those divisions. So we'll see exactly how Jonokuchi matchmaking works. We'll have an update for you on the midway. But if that loser's belt gets all the way to the bottom of Jonokuchi, I think we will retire that belt and probably start a new winner's belt over in the next Basho. We'll see.
All right. So let's move over to our chump predictions. Jake, how do you want to do this? You want to do your punishment? Because we got 2 punishments that are owed. Jake's going to do his on the preview. I'm going to do mine on the recap so that we got 2 different punishments on different episodes. We're not overloading one episode with those.
You didn't do your punishment, did you, Ryan?
Like the outlines there, but like in theory, it's there.
In theory.
But it's better
There's
presented.
concepts of a punishment.
Yeah, it's concepts of a punishment being cooked. But it's better if we present it as, the content decision and not me just continuously not doing it.
That would be silly.
That would be absolutely silly because, of course, I'm working on it. I'm so happy to do the stand-up comedy.
That's what you were.
Which I will be doing on the recap episode. But, Jake, you lost last time. I lost 3 times ago. That's old news.
That's old news.
People don't even remember that. And somehow Flaric is just flying by under the radar. The mystery still unwritten.
The mystery's still a mystery.
It builds. The mystery builds.
But yeah,
but let's not take this away from you guys not having punishments.
Of course. Yeah. We don't want to steal your thunder.
Yeah.
No.
Jake lost last time, and I won for the second consecutive Basho last time. I'm going to make it 3 in a row. 3-peat, baby. But Jake had to do a movie scene of my choice, and the movie scene that I selected was the argument from the Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers between Smeagol and Gollum, who, if you are not familiar with that movie, are the same person with split personalities.
Just pause this and go watch the Lord of the Rings extended editions real quick.
Yep.
And then come right back. Welcome back. You're another day older.
Yes.
But yes, Ryan told me that I could make the topic about whatever I wanted as long as it was sumo related, and that the only provision was I could not get help from anyone else to do voices. So what I'm going to do is 2 different poor impressions of the same character, but I'm going to do it live. So check this out. Let's get using there we go.
Nice
scenery, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So to set the scene, actually, no, we're not going to set the scene. If you know the movie, you know it. If you don't, this is going to be weird no matter what. So a creature comes crawling into the forest, talking to himself. And here we go. We wants it. We needs it. Must have the Kachikoshi. They're stealing it from us, sneaky little Maigashirises. Wicked, tricksy. You know what you have to do. No, not that. Not on day 15. Yes, precious, you must be tricksy. No, I'm a strong, honorable Rikshi. If you were strong, you wouldn't be 7 and 7. I'm not listening. I'm not listening. You are weak and you must cheat. No, no. You'll drop to Juryo. Go away. Go away. Ha ha ha. I hate you. I hate you. Where would you be without me? Henka! Henka! It saved us. It was me. We survived because of me. Not anymore. What did you say? I have a dignified brand of sumo now. We don't needs you. What? Leave now and never come back. Leave now and never come back. We told him to go away, and away he goes, precious. Gone, gone, I'm free.
Absolutely
my cheeks
beautiful.
hurt.
That was good.
That was great.
And Jake
And
is
he's gone.
And Jake
And
is
he's just
actually gone.
All right. Commitment
so-
to character. I appreciate it.
Am I still backwards?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let me fix that. There we go.
There
that
you
was
go.
fun. I learned how to use OBS's virtual camera for this.
Nice.
I also like to think that the narrative of this ends with that wrestler
Dropping out of Juryo.
half-hearting a henka and losing while biting his opponent's finger off, and then falling all the way off the dohyo, plummeting to his death.
All right. So Jake had to do that because he lost. So let's see who he chooses this time to be his champ to see if he can avoid back-to-back losses. Jake, in a bit more wide open of a field than we typically have, who are you going to select as your champ?
I think, as we've discussed, there are two front runners, and I have to pick one of them. I'm going to pick the Yokozuna. I'm picking Hoshoryu to win this one. Man, if Ryan was the second pick, I might have gone Kirishima just to spite him, but
Just to force him.
Oh no, I have to select my favorite Rikshi, Hoshoryu. Oh no.
after saying that he was your second pick for winning.
Yeah. And then
Barely.
he does badly, and then you hate your favorite Rikshi.
It's all coming together.
We hate you. We hate you.
But
All
I
right.
am not second overall. That honor goes to Fleric.
Right, you are, Ryan. And I'm going to go with the second person we talked about a lot, of Kirishima, as my champ.
Damn it!
Yeah, it kind of gets really hard after this point, don't it, Mac?
Damn it! Top tier is gone. Second tier is a little ways below that. I like how your third pick, and you're acting like this is a surprise to you that you have fallen to. Oh no!
I was hoping for some magic. Okay, I was hoping for some magic, but it didn't happen.
None of us put any thought into this until we're on the clock.
That is
Literally.
always how it works. Yep.
All right, let's. Aonishiki, come on.
Okay.
I love it.
To be fair, that's what I would have picked
Bold.
third.
I
I think that's a good pick.
could
I'm gonna
believe
regret
in Wakano Show. I'm not going to, but I could.
Second time in a row picking a guy making his debut.
Yeah, we've
Hey,
got.
it could work.
As we all know, Koto Shoho, Ozeki is just a stepping stone for this Sekiwake. So I could select Koto Shoho.
It's true.
I honestly have to go Koto Zakura. I don't think
It was a toss-up.
there is any
Interesting.
any other. I have to believe in his positivity. I have to believe that
His
it's all
expression is so positive.
Yes.
it's all coming around for good old Coates. But luckily,
Coates.
I do
I
get
like
first
that.
pick for
You
Chump,
do get first Chump pick.
and I feel like it's always safe to bet against Ichi Yamamoto in the joy. I feel like there's nothing safer on this board than taking Ichi Yamamoto as my chump.
All right, I basically just picked my team from last time. Chio Shoma, you are going down.
Here we go. Oh no, I knew this was coming. Oh, but I didn't know what people were going to pick. Ichi Yamamoto is pretty good. Dang it.
Don't let Koto Shoho fall to Jake. That's what he wants.
Who do I not?
I was kind of hoping Ryan would pick the stablemates that are ranked right next to each other for a champ and a chump, but
no. I have enough faith in Koto Shoho.
I hate this.
I have 5 to 6 win faith in Koto Shoho. I've got 3 to 4 win faith in Ichi Yamamoto.
Sure.
I hate this, but I'm gonna stand by my guns. That Unk is washed. I'm gonna go with Tamawashi.
Tamawashi. Okay.
Got it.
I wonder if Tamawashi's ever been chumped before by us. That would take way too long for me to check, though.
Yeah. I am. Yeah, I had that whole time to think, and I've got nowhere on it. There's so many
like we don't think about it until we're actually on camera.
No.
Oh,
I have been thinking about it. I guess I'm just saying that like even if I had first pick, I would have no idea what I'm doing on this one. There are so many like I'm kind of drawn towards the veterans at the bottom that aren't doing so great. Tobizaru, Mitaki Yumi. I mean, I could just go full heel and pick Ura.
Ooh.
I don't think I'm going to.
Good man.
Take Asahakuryu.
I think I'm going to take Asahakuryu.
All right.
Because I want to, not because you told me. But yeah, I didn't. His 10-5 was not very inspiring, and he got dramatically overpromoted for it. So I don't.
You don't have faith in good old hard toe?
Nope, I think his toes are too hard.
Grayscale. You can never trust grayscale.
Can't trust a guy with hard toe skin. Yeah, this one's tough. I mean, obviously, there's going to be a handful of people that have absolute dog crap records here, but there's nobody that seems totally obvious.
I'm gonna eat my words with Aonishiki because I'm like, oh no, Caldeban, not gonna make it. Crap, he's my champ.
I forgot you did pick him to.
I know.
Go
and then
or to
I'm happy to eat my words about what I said, as long as he does
put your money down. Yeah, that. This is when you know how accurate how honest we were being earlier in the episode based on how we picked
true. Like I wanted to do well and pick with my heart.
Yeah.
All right, so that is what Grand Sumo Breakdown thinks is going to happen this Basho, at least who the favorites are and who the not favorites are. But send us your predictions as well. As with every Basho, we will be tracking bold predictions from all sources that we get them from, and whoever has the best, in our opinion, whatever criteria we're deciding to use that Basho, whoever has the best prediction will win a free Grand Sumo Breakdown t-shirt.
From Cheeky Sumo.
From Cheeky Sumo. Jake is all over that. Thank you, Jake.
Always here to back up your deficiencies.
Yes. So, with that being said, what is everybody excited for this Basho? I don't know. I feel like we're kind of carrying we carried the negative energy from the end of March to the beginning of May. I blame Chairman Hakaku. He's been very down. But what are we excited for? What are we looking forward to seeing this Basho?
I want this to be Hoshoryu's time. I want to see Big Haas take home the Emperor's Cup this time around.
Me too.
Yeah.
Hey, me 3, because I picked him.
I just want it to happen at this point. I'm like, come on, buddy. Come on.
Yeah. I think I'm not going to say Aonishiki because that is a worry. I'm going to be worried every match until he gets 8 wins.
Sure.
And so I'm not excited to see. I'm just very apprehensive and hoping about Aonishiki. I'm going to say Atami Fuji. I want to see if Atami Fuji can kind of keep up the form that he's been showing the first 2 Basho of this year and just continue to show as he climbs higher in the ranks that he does belong to be this high, that he really has turned a corner, that he is just, like Jake says, weaponizing his weight. So I'm really excited to see what Atami Fuji does this Basho, and I'm hoping that he can put together another strong winning record.
I guess I will pick I'll pick Wakanosho, not just because he's an exciting newcomer and it's always fun to see new faces and whatnot, but this is I think this has got to be Taka Keisho's first like real his guy. You know, like it sounds like he may not have been recruited by Taka Keisho because I guess Wakanosho started sumo officially in 2022. But regardless, Takanosho was already kind of a thing, you know. But for Taka Keisho to like have his own prospect that he's working on here, I think that's very exciting. And I guess I'm just excited to see if another guy who has literally zero grappling game can make it in the top division.
And how spherical he has become.
Exactly, and how spherical he has become or is intending to become.
Yeah. No, all those things I would love to have happen, but the one thing I'm going to list off is the one you spoke into existence, Ryan. That is the Kirishima Yokozuna run at the end of this, and I think that would be pretty fun. I have like no expectations on Kirishima, so if it happens, I'll just be happy the entire time.
Talking about you've got champ expectations of Kirishima. You need him to represent.
That is true, but like just other than that, I think he's already won. Like in the grander thing of his career, I think he's already won. I can't wait to see what the lack of pressure is going to take him to.
If I can have a quick bonus one. We already mentioned Tamawashi, like being a dark horse, dark horse Maegashira winner. Now that Fleric has chumped him, that would just be double.
Set the like, all-time record for low chump score.
Yeah.
Betting against Tamawashi is usually a bad idea. So
yes, normally it is.
Very risky proposition.
I do not have history on my side.
Yeah.
All right, so this was a beefy version of the preview. This has got to be one of our longer ones.
And a Tommy Fuji version.
And a Tommy Fuji size preview edition
Big
for
boy.
the Natsu Basho. And we're going to get the answers to a lot of our questions starting on Sunday, May 10th, when this Basho kicks off. So we'll kind of see, is Onosato going to be in there? How healthy is Aonishiki? Is Kirishima and Hoshoryu, will they prove to be the favorites for this Basho? All of those questions will be answered next time on, Sumo.
Grand Sumo Breakdown.
Next time on Sumo.
Z.
Yes. But on that note, thank you for listening to Grand Sumo Breakdown. Until next time, throw your salt high and keep moving forward.